Hey friends, this is Sandy again, and I'm making a video to try to encourage all of you to do some housekeeping on your computers and especially on your desktop screen. What you're looking at right now is my desktop on my laptop, and as you can see, there's not very much on there. The only thing that I like to keep on my desktop are a stack of sticky notes so that if I need to make a real quick note, I make it, and then I do my shortcut keys, Control P that I've set up with Evernote, and real quick I highlight that note. It goes to Evernote. I get the message right here that the screen clip was imported, and then real quick I can delete that, and so my desktop stays nice and clean. The only other thing that I have on my desktop is, and we talked about this in the last video, is a shortcut to my import folder. Anything that I put in that folder goes straight to my Evernote, and then it's immediately deleted from that folder once Evernote pulls it in. And one of the things that I didn't mention in the video, the last video about the importing folders into Evernote tip, is another benefit of that is if you've got a lot of files that you're cleaning off of your desktop that you've collected on your desktop and you want them all to go into Evernote, and you highlight all of those and drag them over into your inbox in Evernote, what Evernote is going to do with all of those is put them in one note. And some of them may be going to different folders or different tags, different notebooks, and so if they're in one note, you're not going to be able to do that. If they're every one of those files that you just drag over into Evernote are in one note. So that's another benefit of this folder, because if I have 3 or 4 files, I don't want to drag them one by one over. And that's the only way that you can get them into separate notes in Evernote. So with this import folder, I can highlight a group of files, drag them down here to the shortcut, and as soon as they're put in that folder, Evernote pulls them in and deletes them from that folder. So this folder stays completely empty. It only takes a few seconds for Evernote to grab them and then deletes them as soon as it gets them, and then they're gone. And the reason that I have all this set up that way is to have everything stay organized and be as automated as possible. That means that I don't have to sit down and sort through a lot of stuff. Of course, once it's in Evernote, I do need to start sorting through it and tagging and putting it away. And I generally sit down with my Evernote. See, right now I've got 7 things inside my Evernote inbox that I need to sit down and tag. There's my quick note that I just made. Of course, I don't need to keep that. There's another screen clip that I made that I don't need to keep. But these I do need to keep, and I'm going to tag those and put them with my scrapbooking tags for different alphabets that I have. So I will sit down and empty this out, and I do that on a regular basis so that doesn't get too full. At times I'll have maybe 50 files in there, and it gets grueling once you look at a huge amount in your inbox. And once you tag everything in your inbox, you can drag them all into your All Notes notebook, and then that way your inbox stays nice and clean. And I keep my email inbox clean the same way, and that's going to be a future video on how I keep my inbox cleaned out using a tickler file. So that'll be a really fun video to show you. But to stay on track here, we'll go back to my desktop and I will show you some other neat goodies that I do use to keep my desktop nice and clean. Right here is what is called a Dell Docker, and I know that other machines come with their own form of some kind of a dock. And what I use the Docker for is to keep my tools, and I consider the sticky note and the calculator and the magnifier. This is wonderful. I love that. I could just click on the magnifier and highlight over whatever it is I can't focus or see real good, and then I can see it better. And then when I'm done, I can just turn it off. And I love having the magnifier handy. My eyes are definitely not as good as they used to be, and so that is really nice to have. Something else I absolutely love is this color picker, and it's a free download off of the internet, and I use it religiously on a daily basis. I love color and color chips, and what's so neat about this is to grab a color, you just click on a box, and as you're trying to zoom in on colors, and sometimes, you know, the pixels on things, see, like right here, there's so many different shades of pink in here, and you've got that little square, and you just hover till you get over the right shade of pink, and you'll see that shade of pink is showing up in a big square right there. Let's go back over here. And so you've got this magnified area of where you're hovering, and then you've got a big square of the color that you're hovering over. So when you get just the right color, you'll click on your keyboard Control G, and it grabs that color, and it also gives you the numbers of in the color palettes. So you could go to your website and put that color in your codes. You can go to your Photoshop and put that, make a color, permanent color chip inside Photoshop of that color. That is a pretty cool color, isn't it? But that, I really love this tool. And of course this video isn't about this color picker, but of course I had to elaborate on it once you saw it. And it's called Color Pick, and if you Google it, it will bring you to their website. And like I said, it's a free app that you can download, and even though it is an app, I consider it a tool, and so I keep it in my Docker. I only keep tools in my Docker. And then, like I said, my calculator. And I keep, even though I use the Evernote clipper, I still keep the Windows snipping tool in here, because if I don't want to send a certain clip to Evernote, I don't want to use the Evernote clipper. So with this, I'll pull up this and do my screen clipping, and then save it to a file or my desktop. Sometimes I want to edit a snip before I send it to Evernote, so that's why I have this handy as well as my clipper for Evernote. And then of course my handy dandy sticky notes. I love my sticky notes. Okay, so that's what's in my Docker. And then down here on my taskbar, I have the address box up. So even if I don't have my browser open and real quick I want to go to a website, I can just type it in here and click that little button, and it will open up my browser and take me to that website. I also keep shortcuts next to my address bar on this top row, and that's so that I can get to my email, my calendar, and this is all on the web. This is all in Gmail, and so it takes me to my browser, but it opens up my email page, and this will open up my calendar in Google also, and this opens up my phone. I have a Google phone also, and that's going to be a future video later, because that is believe it or not, a very, very thorough app. I mean, you can text and call, and you can do everything just right from that page. I have a shortcut to my documents, shortcut to my pictures, a shortcut to all my scrapbooking supplies, and then I have a shortcut to my library. I've got probably 1,200 EPUB books on my computer, and that can take me to browse through them. I also have them on my iPad, And slowly but surely, I'm bringing them into my Evernote also, so that I can email them from there, and I can also open them on my iPad from there so that they're not cluttering up my library and iBooks, because that's a lot of books to scroll through. But it's taking me a lot of time to go through and organize my library to get it all set up in Evernote. I'll just show you that real quick, how I'm doing that. I have 28 books so far set up in there. What I do is I put the cover in there, and then I snap some information about it off the web about the book, and then here's the file. So I don't have an EPUB reader on my laptop, but I do have a reader on my phone, and I have a reader on my iPad. I use iBooks on my iPad, and so I'll open Evernote on my iPad and go to this file and just click it, and you get the little square with the arrow that says open in, and I'll open it in iBooks, and then there it is for good and forever and ready to read in my iBooks. So my goal is to eventually have all my books in Evernote set up like this so that I could scroll through them. And I'm a visual person. I do judge a book by its cover, so I have to have the cover. Okay, so next I want to talk about this second row here that I have on my taskbar, and these are all the applications that I use on a regular basis. And so all I have to do is do one click, and it will open that app. Just one click. And so basically that's it. That's all there is to it. And I encourage you to do some housekeeping on your computers and clean off your desktops. It's okay to pile it up during the day while you're working and while you're saving files and while you're working in QuickBooks and saving PDFs of invoices, and while you're doing some editing to your photos. It's okay to save everything to your desktop. In fact, I encourage that, because then from there you can put everything away in its place where it belongs, and it's all in one place. But try to, at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, or both, to sit down and clear off your desktop just like you would your actual desk in your office. At the end of the day or at the beginning of the day before you start working, you clear your space and then start your day or end your day. Well, that's what I do with my laptop as well. And my workflow is to go to my email, clean that out, and while I'm doing it, I'm either answering emails or I'm putting them in my Tickler file, and I can't wait to show you how I have that set up. Or sending, I also forward a lot of emails so that I have documentation of different communications. You can email yourself from your email client to Evernote, because Evernote gives you a specific email for yourself. And so I'll empty my inbox, and then I empty my inbox in Evernote, and then I clear off my desktop. And when you get into that routine, things stay organized. You can find them quickly. They don't have to be in your head. Things can be where they belong and not cluttering up your brain. You don't have to try to remember so many things. You don't have to shuffle through to find things. And once you get into this routine, clicking around on your computer and navigating to what you need is really very fast, and it saves you a lot of time. So maybe this helped you, maybe this encouraged you to sit down and gave you a little incentive to do some housekeeping. I hope you enjoyed it. Until the next video, bye.